Okay. So, flow really is all about power generation and redirection of the power. Meaning that you never want to be in a position where you're coming and you're throwing a shot, where you're doing this, and you're pulling it back and having to regenerate all of that power.
Right.
Much like in martial arts, what you want to do is you want to generate your power, and you want to maybe augment it or direct it, but you don't ever want to have to reinitialize it again in the sequence until you get back to your launching position. Okay, like for me, my launching position is right about here. Okay, the launching platform, whatever. Keeping that in mind, the concept of flow means that when you initiate from the first time, whatever shots you are throwing are all going to feed into one another using, relatively the same amount of energy. Okay? And it also means that what you want to do when you throw shots is you want to keep in your head like circular motions. Okay? The ability to take one shot and roll it into another, and roll it into another, and roll it into another, and just however many times you want to throw. Your initial blast is what's going to do it. I may augment it a little bit with my hips as I'm moving, kind of keeping it going, but all of the initial energy, a greater portion of the energy is going to start when I initiate that first flow. And what that means is that also, like if you're here and you have a shield, and I take and I hit it, which I probably will, it doesn't stop. I don't have to recock. I don't have to reset. I can move my elbow around and redirect a lot of that energy, one into another, and a constant motion of the weapon, even when I'm hitting it. Okay? What that means is that your blows are quicker, stronger. You don't get worn out as much. Okay? And it can double as defense. Like for me, what I'll do, most of the time, just about everybody I play is taller than I am. So I'll throw, and then I read like this. And then I'll launch. And then I'll do it again. Or I'll throw, and I'll come through here. Because you have a lot of people who like to counter punch. So you throw, and then if you have a way to clear your weapon, you can usually foul theirs up on the way through. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For me, the way I do it is usually if I go up, I end up rolling through like this to come back. If I go down, I end up rolling through over my head to come back.
Everybody see that elbow motion? I can see it really good. You see what he's doing there, where he's rolling his elbow?
Like if I throw, then I turn the elbow and bring it back. If I throw, I turn it and bring it back. It's all a matter of taking your elbow and moving it, and doing it in such a way that you're not like,
right.
So you end up doing it from back here, rolling it, protecting yourself. The motion in itself will stop people from hitting because, you get somebody like Bryce or like Amos who really like to go offside. So if I throw and they go offside, I can go here, bring it back, throw, bring it back, throw, and it keeps you, all of your power is actually coming from your back foot, whatever that happens to be. So you get in your stance, you go ahead and get in your stance.
Yeah, it's not much difference, Dave, with the pole arm. It's just two hands moving your shoulders around, like we talked about before, moving your shoulders.
Right. Once you throw it, like if you watch a boxer, all of their power is coming from, like you can watch it go right up the leg, through the hips, and through their arm. Martial artists do it a little backwards, and that they step through. So if they throw a punch, they're bringing all of their weight and everything through, and keeping the other foot and making it a power generation foot. Works either way. Amos fights a lot like this, right? For that reason. And actually, he'll do like this, and then step through. where he, you know, and then he can do that and roll it. The thought behind it is that you don't want, the end of your shot is not your target. Okay? The end of your shot, like if I'm throwing for your head, is over here. And you just want to be able, let me rephrase it. All shots start and stop from the same point. Okay? My shot doesn't end here. Right. I throw here, I come back. Even if I hit the person, I want to end here. You know? And that means every sequence of shots starts and stops at the same point. And you want to be able to flow that through. For me, it's all a matter of circles and figure eights. You know? I can figure eight here, you know, and it all ends up going back the same way. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah.
Now, in order to augment the power that you're throwing, you end up having to move your hips. You're not starting a brand new burst of energy. You're just going to keep it going. Your hands, like for me, what I do is I tend to hold my sword like this, and then right before I hit.
Can you explain that for the camera? Are you doing the OK grip?
Yeah, I'm doing the OK grip.
Right.
And then right before I hit, I squeeze. When I hit something, shield, weapon, head, leg, whatever, I let it go. And restart. That last little piece just kind of pushes it forward. Okay. So, questions? I mean,
that's okay.
I don't know how it transitions for people, except for I know a lot of your powers come from the hip.
I'm thinking about it right now. It's since I've got to move with this, you know, it's kind of, you know, if I'm here and they come TJ guard, if you're going to come here, then when I step, you know, I really got to focus on moving the feet with it.
Right.
You also got to think about moving moving your shoulders like we talked about before, so that you can roll the weapon back to that side. Yes, and then roll it through.
Yeah, for a shieldman, you know, I always try to keep my shield right here, almost floating independent of what the rest of my body is doing. That way, when I'm walking, I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing this. I keep it here, you know, I do this, and just let it float. You know, that's not going to work for that. You have to
But the concept
do the full body movement.
Figure eight helps me.
So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Do you have any questions about it, or? It's a different mindset in that, like when I started fighting tournament style fighting, I started fighting in Anglesey, which was all melee. So it was all very two-dimensional, bang, bang, bang. You know, when I started fighting tournaments, you know, you add that third dimension on, you know, because you don't have to worry about this. It's you and that person, and therefore you can, you know, if you try to do this in a line, somebody will stab you. You're going to get hit with a great sword, whatever. You don't have to worry about that in tournaments. Therefore, you can move it a little bit more. So it takes a little bit of getting used to.
Why don't we why don't we try doing the step drill, and then we can to practice that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off now.